What's up, Michigan State fans? It's Jacob Kotznick here back for another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. This is our podcast for the morning of Saturday, January 23rd, 2025, doing some pregame thoughts on Michigan State basketball against Maryland. A game that certainly I believe Michigan State should win. MSU entering the game ranked 10th in the country. Maryland, of course, unranked. MSU is 17-2 on the season and 7-1 in Big Ten play. Maryland very much going in an opposite direction here. 8-11 on their season, 1-7 during Big Ten play. Maryland has not beaten the team ranked in the top 100 in KenPom right now. So again, their lone win is a home win against Penn State. Penn State is winless during conference play. So not the strongest of opponents for Michigan State, but hey, they played the games for a reason. Again, Maryland kind of going through a rebuild right now. Injuries have kind of shattered their season a little bit. Their star player, Pharrell Payne, got hurt 10 games into the year. He's going to be out for this one. He was averaging like 17 and 7. Really good guy, a really good player from followed their new coach Buzz Williams over from Texas A&M to Maryland. Their previous coach Kevin Willard took the job at Villanova, so that opened up that, and they got Buzz Williams from Texas A&M. But again, just going to kind of go over some of the things I'm going to be looking for in this one. Really, first things first. I'd like to see a big game. I'd like to see a nice game for Jackson Kohler. Like, I had a rough West Coast trip for him. He had started the season with 17 straight games of at least 10 points, had 9 points in the entire 2-game road trip. So 2 tough games for Kohler there. Got into some foul trouble against Oregon. Only played 22 and 20 minutes, I believe, during those 2 games. So wasn't really playing as much as usual. Again, MSU, and the positive side is that MSU seemed to do just fine without him. But when you're playing these better teams in the future, you're going to need some you're going to need some better stuff out of Kohler. Like when they play Michigan, that's a week away. Like that's coming up. They're going to need a big game from Kohler in that one. So I'm going to look to see Jackson Kohler try to bounce back. This certainly is a game where rebounding should favor Michigan State. Average rebound margin, Michigan State is entering this one third in the country. Maryland is barely above zero in terms of barely on the positive side. They're ranked in the 200s in Division I basketball in terms of average rebound margin. So I'm going to look for Jackson Kohler to get a bunch of rebounds. I'm going to look for Carson Cooper to get a bunch of rebounds. I want to see some good stuff out of the bigs during this one. Again, Maryland has some decent guards. They've got David Coit, had a 43-point performance during that game against Penn State. Certainly a guy who's going to take his shots. Will they go in? That's kind of the question. They've got Darius Adams, 5-star recruit that Michigan State did recruit. Ended up, he initially chose UConn, then flipped to Maryland. Again, kind of a guy who's still finding a shot, shooting about 35% on the season, about 25% from 3. So not the most efficient guy ever, but he has enough talent where if he has the right day, he's going to cause some serious problems for you, as I'm sure Tom Izzo is well aware of. Going into this one. But again, I think you're in games like these where you're probably going to win by 15, probably going to win by 20. You're just trying to see those little improvements here and there. You're trying to build on some positives that you've seen in the past and try to up in places where you've been struggling. Like Cohen Carr had a really nice shooting performance during that game against Oregon. Hit 3 3-pointers, only the second time in his career he's had multiple made 3-pointers in a game. I would like to see Cohen Carr, make another 3-pointer. Try to keep building off that as a shooter moving forward. Trying to think. So like Jeremy Fears would like to see another good scoring game out of him. He's been evolving as a scorer as well. Carson Cooper is starting to hone in that mid range. That's starting to become like a serious weapon in this offense that he's starting to go to. Like he made some long twos during that game against Washington, had a couple of mid ranges against Oregon, so could keep honing in on that shot. But I'd also really like to see just a really good, another sound defensive performance from MSU. They're number 1 in the country on defense on KenPom right now. If you could have another game where you hold Maryland like 55 points, you're feeling pretty good about what you're doing. They play Rutgers, or they go on the road and play Rutgers, another team that they should certainly beat later this week, and then they go and host Michigan. So again, just trying to you're trying to peak, maybe not peak in late January. You want to peak in March, obviously, in this sport, but you're just trying to continue to ramp up and ramp up for that Michigan game because obviously that game has some extra meaning on it. Always, it doesn't really matter what the standings are. It's a rivalry game, but this game, that game next Saturday is going to be really, really meaningful because the winner of that game is going to stay on the path towards really seriously contending for a Big Ten title. Really, in particular in MSU, because when you're going to go see Michigan again in the season finale in Chrysler, you would really like to have at least have that win at home in your back pocket when you go to Chrysler late in early March. I think it's March 8th for the regular season finale. So, I mean, yeah, but Maryland team that if Maryland goes into the Breslin Center and wins tomorrow, of course I'll be there. I'm recording this on Friday night. I would certainly be stunned. Ken Palm gives MSU a 96% chance to win. I don't think it's necessarily a game where you should really be sweating too much, but we'll see how Michigan State does. Sometimes it's been a little tight in the first half, but this team, I think, is outscoring teams by about 9 or 10 points on average in the second half. So that might be the blueprint for this team. That's kind of what it was last year. There were multiple times where they would get down a little bit, almost big sometimes in the first half. Like there was that game at Illinois. I think they were down 16 when they clinched the Big Ten regular season title in Iowa last year. I think they were down 15 or so. And then they came back. They surged in the second half, came back and won. So maybe there's something about this team, again, where the depth, like they're going 11 deep pretty much every single game now. Maybe the depth gets to them. And then, like, around that, like, 15, 14, 13-minute mark in the second half, you start to see the other team just wear down a second, and then boom, Michigan State goes and gets them. So maybe that's just the way things are again. So we'll see what happens. Again, another game. What we got? I mean, there's only so many games left now. So there's only 12 games left, starting with this one in the regular season. Then you got the Big Ten tournament, and then you got the big dance. So always so many basketball games left, folks. So enjoy it again, because after basketball's done, once hockey's done, which is pretty much around the same time, you got the summer and there's nothing really going on. So keep enjoying these games. That's just my own little advice right there. So yeah, that kind of summarizes my own thoughts on this game and what I'm looking for going into this one. Just another, if all goes well, they should win comfortably. We'll see what happens though. Again, there'll be plenty of written content on this game. Football, hockey, whatever is going on right now. We will have written content for you at SpartanNation.com and at Michigan State Spartans on SI. Thank you, though, for listening to our podcast right here, whether you're on Apple Music, Spotify, any other streaming platform. Thank you very much. Once again, though, I'm Jacob Kotzenika. I'll see you guys around.